Hi, welcome to this podcast called Inspire. Inspire is a series brought to us by PBN Bharat and me, Ryan Vaz, wherein we invite established entrepreneurs onto the show and pick their brains to understand what is it that they've been doing and how they've been doing. Today's guest is an inspiration to many. He had a vision to transform the business ecosystem in Goa and went at it like as if his life depended on it. Parallelly, he took his business to national and then the international stage. And after hitting those milestones, he started creating opportunities for others to reach there too. His work is not about headlines, it's about responsibility. It's about engineering systems, social responsibility, and giving back to the society. He is a man with multiple hats. And I'm delighted to have this man who brought BNI to Goa, the man who helped transform sanitation facilities in the Indian Railways, the man who opens Goa's doors to the world, the executive director of BNI Goa, the chairman of Vibrant Goa, the chairman of EP Kamat Group, Mr. Rajkumar Kamat.
Thank you, Ryan.
Sir, welcome to this show. It's actually a great pleasure and honor to have you on this show.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you very much. I too am very pleased to be here.
Sir, I would like to. There's been a question running in my mind ever since I requested you to come in, and the question is, what in your childhood made Rajkumar to what he is today?
I think it has been a set of things. In our childhood, we were staying in a chawl. There were 5 families, all middle income, and the unity was so good. The little kids, the sons and daughters. It was not my son and daughter. It was just a kid. All kids were same. It was in that sort of an environment. Now, incidentally, my parents were relatively more progressive and proactive. So, with the result, most of the activities that were being conducted, originated from our own house.
Okay.
And of course, the entire set of children would be there. We did a lot of activities, and I do believe, it was called as the Kakula Chal. This is where right now the Kakula Mall is.
Kako is it? Okay.
So, I feel that the community mindedness started from there. Okay. And the way my parents, especially my mother, took leadership in most of the activities and the support she was giving, possibly must have got into me. And those impressions, I would say, was the cradle of what things went through. But this was phase 1.
That's amazing.
Second phase I would consider as when I joined ACGL, Automobile Corporation of Goa. It being a Tata subsidiary, we were in constant touch with the managers and senior executives of Tatas. Their ethics, their I would say community mindedness, environment consciousness, I think somewhere along the line seeped into me too. And I do believe that combination of this resulted into what I am today.
Oh, lovely. And in what you just told me, I can see a pattern. Your early childhood gave you the passion, the canvas, and ACGL probably brought in the structure. And EP Kamat and what you've been doing here has actually given you a chance to put everything, whatever you're planning, into practice. Most of your businesses, most of your ventures are all social enterprises. Whether it is EP Kamat Group, where you have developed the water sewage treatment facilities, to your to BNI, which is again, I strongly believe that BNI is one of the organizations that changed the landscape in Goa, the business landscape in Goa, where people were thinking of competition. You brought in a concept of collaboration. 12 years, 15 years back, that was unheard of. How do you feel that your transition has been from an employee to an entrepreneur who's creating such deep impact?
Uh, I mean, I have not really looked at it in a very, very analytical fashion. Incidentally, I do most of the things by heart and
Right.
not by too much of analysis. If I look at my journey, okay, as you rightly mentioned, environment has been the major, I would say, our purpose at EP Kamat Group has been environment protection through engineered products.
Okay.
In fact, if you see our logo, there are two EPs.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yes.
environment protection inside and outside engineered products. So,
Oh, nice.
the logo also,
Nice.
actually signifies that. Right from the day one, when I moved out of my job and into business, the first venture that I took up was powder coating, which was
Right.
again powder coating then and even now is the most environment friendly coating technology.
Mhm.
Okay, we moved on to replacing wooden railings by metal railings.
Metal railings. Yes.
We went on to replace wooden doors with FRP doors. Okay, then came the biodigesters with technology from DRDO. Again, idea was to eliminate or reduce the groundwater contamination. Then we moved on very logically into the sewage treatment plants, where it was now not only just treating the waste water, but reusing the waste, making it reusable.
Right.
Okay. So these have been the various things that we have gone through. In everything, the focus has been on environment.
Environment.
And if I look at it on the other side, my I would call it as my personal mission. 1988 to 1993, I was in Sakri.
Okay.
I was staying there. I had just got married and I was staying there. So 88 to 91, I was with ACGL because 10 years I was there, 81 to 91. So 88 to 91, I was in Sakri working for ACGL. 91 to 93 was the business that I started off. And that was the region because I was at Sakri, we started it in Bicholim.
Yeah.
Okay. So now the thing is, 88 to 93, I came across so many youths there in Sakri and their parents who were feeling frustrated for not having job. Okay. In fact, we had started Rotary. Through Rotary, we did employment melas. And I could see that urge. And so I somehow, somewhere along the line, I felt that, we should contribute to employment generation to the extent possible. So I was generating employment in my own way, but that was by trickles. It was not substantial. So the other thing that I started was anybody coming to me for guidance and all, I would check up whether he could be an entrepreneur and would inspire him to get into entrepreneurship. Because I felt that it is the entrepreneurs because they build businesses and they can create jobs.
Yes.
So that's what happened, and it so happened that possibly that passion, and then they say when you are passionate about something, the universe comes to help you in that process. 2009, I came across BNI. Okay, that was in Pune, and I felt this is something that we need to have it in Goa. One, from entrepreneurial growth point of view. So my mission, my personal mission, this was from, I would say, 2010, okay, was employment generation through entrepreneurial growth. So these are my two missions. One is a personal mission of mine. I'm passionate about it. I'm also passionate about this, but this is doing through company. Okay, so these are the two things, and that's how we are moving. And I do believe, like you said, we are making a difference. We are changing the way Goa does business.
Absolutely.
Not only from competition to collaboration, but we are now getting into co-creation.
Yes.
Okay, I'm extremely happy when I see such things happening in BNI.
Right. Right. We'll talk about that a little bit more. But before I ask you about co-creation and the work that you're doing there, there is a question that I'm sure a lot more people are also wanting to ask. You've gone through various businesses. You started with the powder coating, then doors, then the biodigesters. You also started the Vibrant Goa Foundation, BNI. Now, you have, in my opinion, become, with so much practice, become a launch specialist or launching new ventures. For a lot of people, that itself is a very taxing activity. You know, and I believe that somewhere in your mind you probably have found a framework to getting things done. Would you be able to share, what is that kind of formula or framework to starting new things and then making sure that it becomes sustainable?
I do not know whether there is a formula, but I would like to, point out a few things which I do believe may have helped. Okay, number one is the passion. Okay, when the purpose is clear, okay, and you are genuine about making things happen in a particular fashion, you are passionate about it. Believe that uh, people around you, okay, are also inspired and they start supporting you. And in fact, most of the things in my case have happened because of the support that I have received from these stakeholders around me.
Right.
Possibly that is the way the universe wanted it to happen. But rightly like what you have said, I do believe I am a launch specialist, but maintenance is not my cup of tea. Okay, so fortunately,
So you set up a team.
everywhere. Okay, there are people who have come into my life, whether it is in EP, whether it is in my own life, my wife itself.
Right.
Okay, they are experts on maintaining and
Maintaining.
running things. Okay, in BNI, so everywhere there have been people who have come over and supported, who are good on the maintenance part
On
of
the
it.
maintenance
So if you ask me, it is not me who is running the things. I may be just launching the things, but it is others who are actually running the things and making things happen.
So how do you launch it? How do you launch a new idea? What is the process that your mind goes through while starting up a new project?
It doesn't go on in my mind. It comes from the heart. Okay. Basically, I see something and I feel that this is something that we should do, or I hear something, I get inspired by something, and I feel this is something we should do. I decide, yes, let's do it. Okay. Then I think, what are the steps that I need to take. Okay. And sometimes people say you have a great vision, but frankly speaking, every activity I started, I didn't look at some big vision, but it is just that activity I was passionate about and I wanted to start.
And then it's shaped.
Then it gets a shape, then it gets a vision. Okay, so that is how things have happened. So I would say, if you are passionate about something, go for it.
So
don't dilly-dally, don't hesitate. Just
no,
go
and
for
that
it.
is exactly why I'm asking, because a lot of people get ideas, and then that idea keeps churning in their mind till it becomes an unfeasible idea. So it doesn't matter how brilliant it is, in their mind only it becomes an unfeasible idea, because they keep shooting down their own ideas, finding out million ways of why this idea will not work. You've been able to transition from an idea to a project going live, and that is what I'm trying to get out, so that people can understand. I mean, your experience will be invaluable in this.
No, as I said, frankly speaking, if you believe in something, okay, if you are passionate about something, I feel we should go for it. Okay, the thing is, take that one small step first.
One step. Take the first step.
That one small step first, and when you are passionate and you start explaining things to people, the sort of positive reactions that you get, okay,
Right.
motivates you to take the second step and then the further steps.
So probably, if I remember the BNI story correctly, then probably your process would be that once you get an idea, first go and discuss it with people, and then find maybe what else can be done, and then it goes on by itself.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. After achieving so many milestones in your life, you have now started opening doors for other people. I'm sure you've done it long back, like you've been telling me right from 1988 as well. But now, in a bigger way, we are opening doors with Vibrant Goa Foundation and COG that you just launched now. Would you like to share with us what are you doing and why are you doing it? What drives you to take things to this level?
I believe, somehow I get charged up, I get energy by interacting with people, especially entrepreneurs, different ideas, possibly different plans. Okay, I do get charged up. Okay, now similarly here also there is one thing which I do believe and I feel that is where we should be. Goa. I believe Goa can be a 5 trillion rupee economy
Wow.
in the next 10 years. Okay.
Wow.
And because if we see our last 2-3 years, we are at presently, if I am not mistaken, nearly 1,25,000 or 1,30,000 crore GDP. Okay, and our growth has been somewhere around 12%. Okay, if in the last 2-3 years, if we can grow at the rate of around 14 to 15%.
So just a difference of 3%.
Yeah, just 2.5%. If we grow by 2036, we would have reached the 5 trillion rupee economy, and I'm not talking about dollars, rupee.
Wow. Wow, I've never heard of anyone put it this way.
So the thing is, I do believe there has to be only that little push in order to have that incremental additional growth. Okay, and in Goa we generally have not focused as much on exports as we should.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And today, the way India is going, it is opening lot of markets throughout the globe. Why should Goan entrepreneurs be left behind?
Right.
Okay. It is with that in mind that we started Vibrant Goa Foundation way back in 2019. I mean, 2018 it was incorporated. 2019 we had the first Global Expo and Summit. Okay. So again here, the purpose, okay, and what is that you want to achieve is there. So I do believe that makes things happen, and that makes people who are aligned with your ideas come together with you, and it is done as a group. Frankly speaking, it may just be that I take the initiative, but really there are people who execute the things, and it is because of them that things happen.
Right.
Unfortunately, incidentally, I tend to unnecessarily get much more credit than it is due.
I think that's more of your humility than anything else that you're saying like this. But I think that spark which is needed is essential for something to start, and you give it life, and the others run it, and they are equally important. But the credit has to come for that spark. If the spark was not there, it wouldn't have started. With so many things that you're doing, with so many people that you're touching, there 110% there should be somebody out there who will be criticizing you, who will be saying that saying different things, negatively. How do you deal with this? How do you deal with people like this? Some will tell you to your face, some will tell you behind your back. How do you deal with people like this?
Okay. Okay, I will tell you 2 incidences that I can think of now that you have put this up to me, because I don't normally keep those things in mind, but having talked about it. One was I was working for ACGL. I worked there for 10 years. I was in quite a senior position when I left and started my own. At that time, I know they didn't speak to me directly, but people were saying he has come from that corporate background. He will not be able to,
Survive.
really make success of an entrepreneurial venture because he's used to something different. Uh, I mean, this indirectly I heard. Nobody spoke to me. Uh, but I didn't take it to my heart. I was doing what my heart was telling me to do. Okay, I was entrepreneurial ventures. I was launching BNI, launching Vibrant Goa. I mean, I just went through, and 2022, we went in for the IPO.
Right.
Okay, so we became public. In fact, that is one of the promise which I had made to my employees 20 years back.
Wow.
When we were having a brainstorming, and I was telling them, asking them as to what sort of a company you would like to work for. And, many things came, and one of them was, a public limited company. One of them, and there were other things also. So I said, how about making this company the company that you want to work for? And we started that particular process.
Nice, very nice.
Okay, while on many other fronts, it is they who had to deliver. On the public limited front, it is me who had to deliver, and I think that has happened. So I do believe it's a promise which I had made to my team that fructified. Second was when we started Vibrant Goa Foundation. People at that time could not, I would say, believe that such a thing could be done in Goa.
Right.
Not that it cannot be done. It is being done elsewhere. But in Goa, they were a bit skeptical about things. But thanks to the entire team, whether it is Arman, Rasik, Vinay, Didi, everybody put together, and the universe sending people like Dr. Jagat Shah, and then it was fantastic to see everybody who had good
Intent.
good I would say value, intention about Goa and
Right.
Goa to grow, join hands.
Right.
In fact, I felt it became like a mass movement. There were people
Exactly.
from JCI coming. There were people from BNI coming. There was, other professionals joining. We did 2 or 3 world records. Okay,
Right.
there were so many people involved in doing so many things. So it just, happened because everybody wanted to
yeah.
contribute to Goa.
Right.
Okay, and
Right.
that's how things happen.
That's true. Actually, it is not just an event. It has now become a movement.
Absolutely.
You've spoken about heart and passion many times, during this conversation, and people often have told me also that passion can kill you. It can go in the wrong direction, or it can drive you in the wrong direction. And however, speaking to you, you keep saying about how important it is to have the passion and to listen from the heart. How does one know if he's going wrong? I'm sure that question must have come to your mind also.
So, no, it has not come to my mind. Okay. I do believe one thing, that you can go wrong even without moving in the direction of your passion. How do you know?
True.
Okay.
I love that perspective.
Yeah. So, if you are passionate about something, you love doing it, okay, you get happiness out of it. Now, when somebody says kills, in what fashion? Okay. It could be health-wise killing. It could be money-wise killing. Okay. If you are in the area of your passion, health-wise, definitely it will not kill you. Okay.
Right.
Now, only what may remain as far as money is concerned. Okay. But I do believe those can happen even for people who are not into their area of passion.
Right.
Okay. So sometimes we fail. It's okay. If you have this one that you have to succeed every time, then the problem comes up. So if you are ready for failures, then nothing stops you.
Nothing stops you. What an amazing chat with Mr. Rajkumar Kamat. Sir, it was lovely talking to you, where you opened up about the way that you work, your vulnerabilities, your passions, and the way that you have been able to build so much in Goa. I wish there was enough time. I had a lot more questions in my mind to ask you, but time is pressing. Thank you very much for coming on this show, and I would strongly request you to continue the same fire, creating that impact that you're always creating.
Thank you. And thank you, Ryan, for being a part of my journey and the journey of BNI and Vibrant Goa. Thank you
Absolute
very
pleasure,
much.
sir.
Yeah.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you.